Ndị ba ekenekwe m unu. Asị m ka onye chiri ya zelu. Asị n'ụbọchị nkịta adịrị na anyị na mma. Na ị ga-adị ka echi na-eche ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru otu akwa ya dịrịrị. Ise. Dịka o siri ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị sikwa wetara ya bụ ozi unu jege ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ. This is according to one of the Biafran activists I will bife wetela ya ozi a n'ụbọchị uruchi nke taa. Biko ọ bụ na iwepụ data na your phone, go and subscribe. Video dị mkpa na onye ọbụla bụ nwaafọ Igbo ga-enene ya. Video dị mkpa na onye ọbụla bụ nwaafọ Igbo ga-enene ya. Nke a ugboro abụọ ka m kwuru ya. Nwanne anyị nwoke were nnukwu ihe o kwuru ebe a. Ya bụ ihe metụtara m. O metụtara gụwa. Enweta na-ekwu because ife a na-emezi ndị Igbo n'obodo a adịrọzi m alụ mma. Eziokwu na-enwere ike isi na sọpọtụ ife Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu. Eziokwu na-enwere ike isi na sọpọtụ ife Maazị Simon Ekpa na-ekwu. Mana this video gee ya bụ ihe. Alright, over to you, sir.
What do you make of this position by Ohaneze Igbo Youth Wing that the continued trial of Nnamdi Kanu is a collective trial of Igbo? What do you make of that statement?
I think, thank you very much for that. You know, the issue of the trial of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu by Justice Bitanyako, in fact, let me say by the federal government of Nigeria, to every rational man, to every sane man, we believe that it is a trial against the Igbos. You see, it is a collective trial against the Igbo race. And if you look at what Nnamdi stands for, you see that that is what virtually every Igbo man stands for. Because the question we need to ask is, who is this man? What is he doing? And what brought him into where he is today? You see that the Ohaneze youths have simply painted a picture of who exactly the Igbos are. We are first peace-loving people. We are not violent in nature, though we are violent if we want to be violent. But we are peace-loving. Igbos, why I say we is because by my introduction, you know, I am Igbo. Nze o Nze. So, and there is no English word in my name. I intentionally removed it in my primary school, that I don't want anything to do with the people who don't recognize me as a person. So now I remove that and I stand for my people, for the Igbos. Why is Nnamdi Kanu still undergoing trial by a person? One, Nnamdi Kanu said that he does not have the confidence of Bintanyako delivering right judgment and has orally pleaded that Bintanyako should recuse herself, which Bintanyako accepted and recused herself. Now, when the file went back to the chief judge, so say, brother, what do you people want to achieve? And the young man you are incarcerating since 2021 till now, this is 4 years. You are holding this young man severally. Some judges have acquitted this guy, released this guy, and federal government kept holding him. Why? See, the question we need to answer very clearly is, why is this man being held back? You see, it is the same persecution of the Igbo race in Nigeria where all of us claim to be one. The same persecution is what is still happening in the life of Nnamdi Kanu. You see that Nnamdi Kanu is simply saying that I don't have anything, I didn't do anything wrong, and court has said he didn't do anything wrong, let him go. The manner in which you brought him to this country is wrong. Let him go. And they refused. And nobody is talking. Though, let me not say nobody is talking. People are talking, especially people from, I know that Afenifere has talked. Ohaneze have been speaking. Some notable Igbo politicians have been speaking. But some few persons who felt that Igbos are second-class citizens in Nigeria, and perhaps, if I may say, those that have been defeated in war, for that reason, they must be subjected to where they are. But they forget to know that even though they try to manipulate some of these things, the truth will still remain there. I am a post-war child, and everything that happened before the war, during the war, and after the war have been handed over to me by my grandmother, in whose hand I grew. So, and I am making sure that I'm transmitting the same information to my children. Why the war? Why IPOB? Why proscribing this organization even when they were armless? Why prescribing them? You see that what started, the same deception British government sold to Nigerian government before independence is what they are still carrying, which is still keeping people to where we are today. Because nobody will talk about Biafra without mentioning what started in the January coup 1966. Now, January Q 1966, the army did what they did. It was among themselves. What concerns those who are in the field of in the military and those who are doing their petty business on the streets of Kanu? That after that January 1966 coup, you now see the program that emanated. These are the things that we are considering as Igbos that have been done against us, that's supposed to keep a kind of, if I may say, grudge against Nigerian government, against Nigerian people. But yet, because Igbo people are enterprising, Igbo people are free-hearted people, Igbo people don't harbor unnecessary grudge, we let go all those things and we continue. Look at the kind of killing that happened in the streets of Kano that government of the then government of Gowan refused to look at. Now, by the time they finished, the war broke out because Ojukwu said, you can't be killing my people like this. The same killing that happened in 1967, July 1967, that after that, Ojukwu said, no. Instead, let me go with my people. Because you can't be, we are humans, for God's sake. We are not animals. I'm coming. We are humans. We are not animals. Now, you keep on killing seamlessly. Nobody harasses you. Nobody interjects you. They keep on, Ojukwu now declared Biafra. They say you can't go. They say you can't go. Then they started fighting us with the aid of this same British government and other world leaders. They fought until the war came to an end. They say no victor, no vanquish. We agree. No victor, no vanquish. Where are the Igbos still today? Was it not the same marginalization that has been happening that made Wazirike came up in 1999 with movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra Masob? And he did what he did. He was arrested, his men were arrested, and you discover that most of the war veterans that fought in 1967-1970 war agreed with Wazirike. They followed him. But unfortunately, age has overtaken that many of them are no longer alive, and those that are alive are weak. Now, after Wazirike was decimated, about 12-13 years later, another Wazirike emerged in the person of Nnamdi Kanu. I think that should be 2012, or he started 2009 with radio broadcast. And until he had gathered up this, if I may say, popularity, he now came up. And they were looking at it. He said, look, we are not coming to fight Nigeria, but we are simply saying, let us go. Operation Let My People Go. Now, if you don't want to retain us in Nigeria, and you don't want us to go, what do you want? While Nnamdi Kanu was doing this peaceful movement, if I may say, herdsmen, let me not say whether Fulani or Hausa or Yoruba herdsmen, but herdsmen began to unleash mayhem on us. People, most of them came from outside Nigeria. They started killing people in the southeast, and they were killing people unabated. And people were like, what is happening? We are not carrying arms, and you are allowing people to come and kill us. Until, even while these things were happening, Nigerian government under Buhari did not proscribe these hardmen killers. Now the next thing,
so that we don't. I know you have a lot to say.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot to say. We still get back to where you're. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Cheesy is also here, and I'm interested to know what Cheesy has to say. Cheesy.
You know, what Nze has done is just to bring a lot of issues that I'm sure outside the focus, outside the center of the question.
Yes.
And thank God he said he was not there, and some of us were there. So I think I will be talking practically. You know, but
some of them were there.
I wouldn't want to dive into whether we are there or not.
Yeah,
He's talking from what they told him, and you know, telling is a perspective. I don't want to talk about why Biafra came or why it didn't come, because as a person I don't believe in Biafra, and I will tell you why I don't believe in Biafra. But I want to say, why incarcerate Nnamdi Kanu, assuming that all he's saying is I want my people to go? The reason why I said I don't believe in Biafra as a person is, number one, I have always said that if you want to show me leadership, show me from what you have already. Like I would say that the prudent management of resources will show me, demonstrate to me that if they give you the entire resources, you can do that. I have not seen that show of management in the units and the states that the Igbos are leaders. I have not seen that. So there's nothing for me. If I go to Aba, for instance, and I go to Onitsha, for instance, and I go to other, I have not seen that. So are you going to bring angels to leaders? It means that that leadership question that is still in Nigeria will come up, and then very soon there will be another balkanization in the Biafra still asking to, because after all, Nigeria did ask for independence. Nigeria did ask to become Nigeria as a state, and they thought that they were going to do wonders. Just 4 years after that independence, you saw that all Nigerians were doing was celebration, doing makosa and all of that, dancing, until the military boys came and swept off the district. You saw that it was shameful, and so I have not seen that. So for me, you are not going to bring, even Nnamdi Kanu is not going to bring, even Nnamdi Kanu is the president, he's not going to be the governors, he's not going to be this thing. So we need to show that, look, if we have done this here, then if you bring us here, we'll do more. Then secondly, is the fact that if you want to stay states, Biafra is not an Igbo thing. Just don't forget. That's why I said I'm not an Igbo, but Biafra is not an Igbo thing. So anybody can be Biafra. There are some persons in Akwa Ibom who are
dịka si wee sere anyị n'ụbọchị uruchi nketa ama m na ọ bụ na ife anyị na-eme na adị unu maka baro ketụsa ya bụ ozi yes ọ free ka ọ bụ anyị kwere nkwa na gị na-ewetara unu update gbasara maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya and nwere ụwa na-azọ ọ nọ nụrụ ife ọha na eze ndị Igbo youth kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ and ihe ndị ọzọ kwugasịkwa dị iche iche ka ife unu nwere ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ihe ndị a niile drọpụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị na Eastern News 24 bebe anyị si na-ewetara ya bụ ozi nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa ngwa nke ọ dị n'ụmụ Igbo